Hey folks, how you doing today? We are just about to the end of our whole series of application videos that we do every spring. And today we're talking about Nevada 2023. And like all of these videos that we do, they're brought to you by Go Hunt Insider. They want you to have as much information as possible, so they asked me to sit here and provide all this information. And if you're so inclined to get all the great tools that we use for our applications, go sign up for the Insider, use promo code Randy, and as you know, they'll give you $50 of credit in their gear shop. So, the very first thing we always talk about is the deadline. The deadline is May 10th, okay? 11 p.m. Nevada time, they're on Pacific time, May 10th, 2023. Nevada used to have a deadline of, say May 10th. But they'd let you go buy points 7 days after that. No more. Starting this year, you have to buy your points. You have to do everything, your application, by the May 10th deadline. So don't miss it. Draw results, they always issue them the Friday of the following week, which this year should be May 19th. So love Nevada, quick turnaround, very organized system. I think everybody would agree, that I talked to anyhow, that if you were going to build an application system, you would piggyback on the Nevada system. So, what are the big changes for this year? Non-residents finally get to apply for a mountain goat tag this year. That's new. They used to let us do it, and then numbers went down, and so we couldn't do it. Now we're back in where we can do it. And if you were one of those people a long time ago that was building mountain goat points, now you can use them again. They've added an archery desert bighorn sheep hunt in Unit 161 for non-residents. How cool is that, right? I mean, if you really are into archery hunting and you really want to shoot a desert sheep, this would be your chance. Huge changes to how they have this program they started 2 years ago called First Come, First Serve. You'll see the abbreviation FCFS. The big change this year is now if a tag is returned by a resident, it can only be repurchased by a resident. If it's returned by a non-resident, it can only be repurchased by a non-resident. In prior years, it was agnostic as to residency, and I fully understand why Nevada changed that. I mean, a lot of tags were getting returned by residents and getting picked up by non-residents. That's changing this year. Now, what all can you apply for in Nevada? All right, we got mule deer, black bear, pronghorn, elk, desert bighorn, California bighorn, and now mountain goat. And if you're a resident in Nevada, you can add Rocky Mountain bighorn to that. Your cost for a deer, $240, antelope, $300. Those are some of the cheapest deer and pronghorn tags in the entire West. Then you flip it to elk, desert bighorn, California bighorn, and mountain goat. Those are all $1,200. So those are getting more on the expensive side of some of the Western states. Here's kind of the hiccup that really makes you think a little harder before you apply in Nevada. $155 non-resident license must be purchased if you intend to build points. You can ask for that license fee back, but you don't build any points for that year. Now, the application fee per species is $10. But then when you get to elk, it's $15. And then on top of that, they add another $1 for a processing fee, and they add another $3 for a predator fee. The beauty of Nevada is you don't have to front all the money. And if you are lucky enough to draw, they will just hit your credit card when the results come out. So, pretty cool. Now, Nevada has a bonus point system, and we're going to get into a little more detail on that. The beauty of Nevada, even though it's hard to draw, is that they actually give a pool of tags for non-residents equal to 10% of the tags. So we're only competing against each other as non-residents. Now, you get into their draw system. I'm going to talk about how it works. Like I said, it's a bonus point system, and they square your bonus points. We'll walk through how that works with this example. You have 10 points, I have 2 points, okay? They square you 10 times 10 is 100, plus they give you a random number for the current year application, so you get 101 random numbers. I only have 2 points. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 for the current year application. I only get 5 random numbers. So what they do, they look at your 101 and they say, what is the lowest random number this person has for this species, and for this species, and for this species? And that's the number that you go into the draw with. Here's the important part about Nevada that gives you the opportunity to apply some strategy to this. They give you 5 choices for every species before they go on to the next person in line behind you. So let's say you've got a random number here. They look at your 5 choices before they go to the person who's got the next random number. So this is your strategy, right? Make your first, maybe first and second choice some crazy, if I were to draw this, I'd think I won the lottery. And then make your third, maybe third and fourth choice be something, well, it's still pretty hard to draw, but I'd be really happy if I drew. And then your 5th choice. Make that the easiest to draw tag there is that you'd be happy with. If you want the best draw odds, this is why we use Go Hunts Insider, is because it's hard to calculate your Nevada draw odds. They do what's called a Monte Carlo simulation. They get last year's, they call it a deck of data, and they run it millions of times to tell you, but if everyone applied like they did last year, here's what your odds would have been for this tag, for this species. When you run it that many times, it's as accurate as anything you're going to come up with. When you look at Nevada, you're going to see, even with high point totals, your draw odds are pretty miserable. If you want to improve your draw odds, look at the other weapons besides rifle. Muzzleloader hunts and archery hunts for deer give you way better draw odds. Muzzleloader hunts for elk, as a general rule, give you way better draw odds because Nevada restricts you to open sights on a muzzleloader. So there are some things that you can do to improve your odds if you're willing to hunt with some of those other weapon types. Now, if you just have your mindset that this is the only hunt, this is the only unit, the only weapon I would ever want to go and hunt Nevada in, okay, stick to that. And just know that your odds are probably going to be way lower. Then, if you are so lucky as to draw so many tags that you can't hunt them all in a year, you can return a tag in Nevada. So there's a couple ways you can do it. Once they post the draw results, they give 7 days that you can go into your NDOW, Nevada Department of Wildlife account, and just hit the button to say, return this tag. That's all you gotta do for 7 days. Once that passes, then there's 2 kind of important dates if you want your points restored. For deer, elk, and pronghorn, you can return that tag up to 1 day before the season starts and still get your points restored. You won't get your money back, but you'll get your points restored. Now, when we're talking about the sheep, you have to return it by July 15th if you want your points restored. So, and then there's some different rules related to death, disability, or active military duty. So now you're probably saying, what happens with those return tags? Well, Nevada's got the most interesting system of all of them with these return tags. So if there's a return tag that is returned more than 14 days before season start, they go to an alternate list. And when you're doing your application, you might want to check the box to say, hey, yeah, I want to be an alternate for this. Because if your first choice, not your second, third, fourth, or fifth choice, but if your first choice gets returned and you were the next person with the next lowest random number, they will offer that tag to you. And if you decline it, they'll go to the next person, offer that tag to them. So when you do the application, check the box that says, yeah, I want to be on the alternate list. So then there are tags that get returned between 1 day and 14 days before season start. And these are the tags that go to the first come, first serve list. And they get, if you're on there, you go out there and it's just updating. It's this random generator of the time when they'll throw it up there. So you got to be paying attention. And like I said earlier, they've changed it now where only residents can pick up the returned resident tags and only non-residents can pick up the returned non-resident tag. that's another chance where you might be able to pick up a leftover tag if you didn't draw. A couple other things for Nevada. Like I said, muzzle loaders, you have to use open sights. I've had a deer tag in Nevada and it was a fantastic hunt. I shot a really nice buck, but I had to use open sights. There are waiting periods. I call them a penalty box. You know, I'm a hockey fan, so all these to me have an analogy to a sport. So you're going in the penalty box for 3 years on pronghorn, 7 years for elk, and 10 years for sheep. So there is no penalty box for deer. Nevada, one of the ways Nevada keeps point creep a little lower is they make you burn your points for choice 1 through 5 in the regular draw, any leftover tag, any return tag, or any first come first serve tag. No hunter orange is required in Nevada. Hunter education is required if you were born after January 1, 1960. Hunting age is 12 years old, but you got to be 12 on the date that the season opens for that tag. Thankfully, Nevada has mandatory reporting. They have some of the best data out there. And that's what allows Nevada, they have mandatory reporting and they do flight surveys. So when they have drought, guess what's been happening they've been in like 25 years of drought, but really bad drought in 2018, 19, 20, 21. And they had to drop these tag numbers, especially for deer and pronghorn. Now they had a really good moisture year in 2022. They're having really good moisture this winter. If we get a couple good years of moisture, history has shown that when that happens and numbers rebound, Nevada is also very proactive in increasing the tag numbers. So if you draw a Nevada tag, make sure you do the mandatory reporting. It's very helpful. Plus next year, if you go to apply and you haven't done it, they're going to say, sorry, you didn't fill out your mandatory harvest report. New last year, because it's a very arid state, people were putting tons of trail cameras on whatever available water sources were there. Nevada said, enough of this. August 1st through December 31st, no more trail cameras on public land. So during hunting season, there's not supposed to be any trail cameras out there. That's it. That's kind of Nevada in a nutshell. If you want way more detail than this, you should go out to Go Hunt and read their insider article. Those guys, Brady, Trail, Brandon, all of them, they go into way more detail than what I've done here. And if you want to look at the draw odds and the draw trends, they have 5 years of data out there in Go Hunt. So that's just a super powerful tool for a state like Nevada. If you're going to do it, go sign up for Insider. Go to gohunt.com, use promo code Randy. They'll give you $50 of credit in the gear shop. Mostly, don't miss the deadline. I can't tell you how many people sheepishly send us a message, oh, I can't believe I forgot the deadline. The deadline is May 10th, 2023, 11 p.m. Nevada time. Good luck. I hope you draw your tag this year.